Birdseye wants his dinner.
Pop it.
We having fish fingers?
Naturally. New battered fish fingers.
Battered fish fingers?
Just for a change, fish fingers in a smashing crunchy batter. Here, get off. Those are for the captain.
Captain Birdseye! Captain Birdseye!
Try new Birdseye battered fish fingers. For a change.
Captain Birdseye!
And here we are, a new taste test. In the past I've done cheap pepperoni pizzas. And then later on I did fish fingers, cheap fish fingers and expensive ones. Today I'm doing a battered fish, as it is Friday and fish on Friday. You have to pardon the Saks front core spring-free Yaris, some garden fat balls and some dog food in the background. Such is life at Chez Andy. Yeah, so I thought I'd test out all the battered fish, and we at the back end we've got the white fish, as they call it, which is actually pollock, and that's the cheap stuff, although you're paying extra for the name. And at the front side we've got cod, and that was supposed to be Birdseye cod, but they had none in Tesco, so I've gone for a Birdseye green cuisine. The vegan one is sort of like a joker, a separate one, just to see how that compares, which is going to be good. Now I'm going to put up at the moment all the prices, all the weights, and how much fish they were per pound, just to see which you can see which is the most best value for money and which is not. Now, as you can imagine, the pollock ones at the back are the cheapest, so you are paying for the name there, and these are more expensive, although of course the Tesco ones was cheaper than Birdseye. Right, and that was fairly cheap actually, although you only get 2 in a pack rather than 4. So let me put that on the screen now, so you can see, you can pause it and see how much each cost, to see value for money. Here we go. Right, we're back again. So right, so I got them out of the freezer, and they're looking quite fine. The batter's quite interesting. That's knobbly, quite light. You can see that's a bit smaller. That was 440 grams from memory, rather than 500. What was it for? I can't remember. Have a look at the spreadsheet again. That's the biggest one. That's 500 grams. I think that was 400, and that was what was that one? Oh. I should have checked my spreadsheet, shouldn't I? That is ooh, 400. All right, so it was the same as that one, but it looked smaller. I mean, it's probably thicker. That's pretty good actually. Right, so that was yeah, that was 400, 440. No, so that was 400, 440, 270. Anyway, going back to the batter. Yeah, that looks knobbly. That was light. That was thick, but smaller. I've got. Put it upside down now. Sorry, Captain. I think that might actually, because of the thickness, I think that might do quite well. That's quite thick as well, though. The Tesco one, cod one. Young's, that was very, very expensive. I quite like the batter on that, and that's a ridge effect. And that's a plant one. And they've done quite well as well. It's flat on the bottom, but it is sort of rounded, just like a fish one. Just look like that. So they've done well on the presentation. That's mainly pea flakes. No, it's rice flakes. But these are, of course, cod or pollock. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook all these. It's the same amount of time, or vary it slightly. And then we're going to judge it on 1, obviously, the presentation. 2, the actual taste of the whole thing. 3, how crispy the batter is. And then 4, value for the actual amount spent. So yeah, so we might have 2 champions. One that's at ultimate taste, and one was that divided by the amount spent. Is it worthwhile getting a cheap one? Anyhow, I've got to start cooking them, I guess. And then put all these extra ones back in the freezer. I'm going to be eating fish in batter for the next 2 weekends, I think. Anyway, let's go. At the moment, what looks wise, I think that one looks the best. Taste wise, not a clue. Normally in the past, I've picked one as a favourite. It's always been the mid-ranking one, but she's not too expensive, not too cheap, and actually a good taste. I think the fish finger one was the Tesco white fish, pollock fish fingers, and the pepperoni pizza was a Goodfellas, just standard, nothing fancy with cheese-filled crust or whatever. There we go. So will the mid-ranking one win this time? Probably. So I'm guessing that one. Or maybe, I don't know. I haven't got a fucking clue, have I? No, I haven't really. Let's start cooking. I'll do them in the oven. I'll put a bit of oil down so they don't stick. And then I'll get my partner in crime, my wife, to also give a second test. Right, the oven's heating up. And I just asked my good lady to say, what does she think by just looking at them? And she said, oh, I don't know. But she liked that one and that one because they were thick. And she quite liked that one. But she didn't like that one. Because it's got funny batter. Not fanny batter, funny batter. And she thought that was funny batter as well, which it is. So I said, what do you think is going to be the best to eat? And she goes, ooh, that one, or that one. So she chose a vegan one, which is quite interesting. And the two thickest. And I think she's good. I think she's pretty right on with the two thickest. Although the percentage ratio of fish to batter is actually that one, the cheapest. That's 57%, but it is longer, so it might dry out in cooking. And the other interesting thing is the Young's one, the Young's cod. They said do in a wire rack. All the rest said in a baking sheet. So I'm doing them all in a baking sheet. So I'm sorry, but I will do another test later. What's the difference between a baking sheet and wire rack for Young's? If I've got any left. What do you think, Whisper? You're not going to say sausages again, are you? You can't eat those. They'll be bad for your tummy. Bad for your tummy. Right, they're in the oven. They're upside down because I don't want to destroy the top side's batter. I put some oil in the actual grill pan because otherwise they stick. I found that to my cost before, so hopefully it won't stick. 10 minutes each side, and I'll reverse the actual grill pan that I've got them in because the air oven cooks a bit quicker at the back, so they get equal share of the heat. And we're on 40 seconds in. I'll turn them over in 10 minutes and do another 10 minutes. We'll see how we get on. Yeah, there'll be no salt or vinegar or anything. It will just be a pure taste test. Right, I've got a slight technical issue that when I cooked them for the recommended time, they weren't crispy. Probably because I put 6 of them in there, and in air oven doesn't let any steam out. So I should have done the first 10 minutes on oven, turn them over, then do the last 10 minutes on a mild grill. So I'm now trying to grill them off just so they'll be crispy. Yeah, that's the problem with cooking so many in air oven. Let's see how they go. Anyway, look, letting the steam out now. And there we go. They're crunchy finally. Bits of cod in batter and pollock in batter. Right, I kept in the right order, so let's serve them up. Right, here we go. So we've got all the fish on there, nice and crunchy now. I'm going to cut them into pieces. We're going to do the taste test. We're going to mark them out of 40, and then we're going to go from there. Right, the taste testing is complete. We've done most of them. I put it all in my handy scribble book. Just got to translate it from hieroglyphics into a spreadsheet. Two people eating it. Which one came out tops? Even I don't know. Can't work out what I wrote. Lots of numbers there. One of them must have been the best. Ooh, sweet. Right, let me get it sorted out and we can go from there. Right, I'll just put up the spreadsheet of who won, who lost, what the rankings were. In summary, the Tesco's cheapest healthy food company won. Had the best batter, very cheap. Not the best for actual fish taste. To be honest, the Young's and the Birdseye were best for fish taste. But strangely, both of those have poor batter. It's like claggy or thick underneath. Didn't cook well. So that hampered them, and also the cost. The Tesco's cod one was a good all-rounder. So that came sort of close to the top. Yeah. And the Lidl one was a fairly good all-rounder as well, but it didn't beat both the Tesco ones. And that's only pollock if you don't like pollock. But then again, I don't think you can taste much difference between pollock and cod. And even the thickness didn't seem to matter at the end of the day. The vegetarian one, which is over there, that that was interesting. I mean, it didn't taste like fish, to be honest, but the batter was really good. That got the top score for batter. I think it's because they don't have as much moisture inside to make it go soft, and it's quite light. So the vegan one won on the batter, but the taste, if you didn't know it was fish, if you said it wasn't fish, I think you really like it. If you just said it was a rice flake, tempura, battered, vegan, whatever, I think you think, oh, that's really good. But if you're trying to equate it to fish, I think your mind has to make the mental jump. And it's not quite there yet. So after all that, the winner is the cheapest hearty food company one. I didn't think it would. I thought that the Tesco's normal cod would win, or perhaps a Lidl. But no, so there you go. If you want something that's really fishy, go for the brand make. If you've got lots of money, go for the brand make. Go for Birdseye or Young's, but then your batter's not as good. But if you like the fish more than anything, that's fine. If you want your batter nice and crispy, go for the cheap ones, especially the Hearty Food Company one. Well done. Sweet.